The Discourses of Epictetus. Greek. Pi iota kappa tau eta tau omicron upsilon delta iota alpha tau rho iota beta alpha iota. Epiktētou diatribai are a series of extracts of the teachings of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus written down by Arrian c. 108 CE. Content. There were originally 8 books, but only 4 now remain in their entirety, along with a few fragments of the others. In a preface attached to the Discourses, Arrian explains how he came to write them. I neither wrote these Discourses of Epictetus in the way in which a man might write such things, nor did I make them public myself, inasmuch as I declare that I did not even write them. But whatever I heard him say, the same I attempted to write down in his own words as nearly as possible, for the purpose of preserving them as memorials to myself afterwards of the thoughts and the freedom of speech of Epictetus. The Discourses are unlikely to be word-for-word transcriptions and are probably written-up versions of Arrian's lecture notes. The books did not have a formal title in ancient times, although Simplicius called them diatribai. Delta iota alpha tau rho iota beta alpha iota. Discourses. Other writers gave them titles such as dialexis, delta iota alpha lambda epsilon she epsilon iota sigma, talks upon a monumenta, pi omicron mu nu eta mu omicron nu epsilon upsilon mu alpha tau alpha, records, and homily re, mu iota lambda iota alpha iota, conversations. The modern name comes from the titles given in the earliest medieval manuscript, Arrian's Diatribai of Epictetus. Greek. Rho iota alpha nu omicron tau nu pi iota kappa tau eta tau omicron upsilon delta iota alpha tau rho iota beta nu. Manuscript editions. The earliest manuscript of the Discourses is a 12th century manuscript kept at the Bodleian Library, Oxford. In the Bodleian manuscript, a blotter stained has fallen onto one of the pages, and has made a series of words illegible. In all the other known manuscripts these words, or sometimes the entire passage, are omitted. Thus all the other manuscripts are derived from this one archetype. The Discourses were first printed, in Greek, by Vettere Trincavelli, at Venice in 1535. English translations. The first English translation did not appear until 1758 with the appearance of Elizabeth Carter's translation. This proved to be very successful, with a second edition appearing a year later, 1759, a third edition in 1768, and a fourth edition published posthumously in 1807. It influenced later translations, e.g., those of Higginson and George Long. See his introduction for comments. Some critical of Carter. A complete list of English translations is as follows. Elizabeth Carter, 1758. All the works of Epictetus, which are now extant, consisting of his Discourses, preserved by Arrian, in 4 books, the Enchiridion, and Fragments. Richardson. Thomas Wentworth Higginson, 1865. The works of Epictetus, consisting of his Discourses, in 4 books, the Enchiridion, and Fragments. Little, Brown, and Co. George Long, 1877. The Discourses of Epictetus, with the Enchiridion and Fragments. George Bell, Percy Ewing Matheson, 1916. Epictetus, the Discourses and Manual together with fragments of his writings. Oxford University Press. William Abbott Oldfather, 1925-8. Discourses. Loeb Classical Library. ISBN 0-674-99145-1 and ISBN 0-674-99240-7. Robin Hard. Translation Reviser. Christopher Gill. Editor. 1995. The Discourses of Epictetus. Every Man. ISBN 0-460-87312-1. Robert Dobbin. 2008. Discourses and Selected Writings. Penguin Classics. ISBN 0-14-044946-9. All of these are complete translations with the exception of Robert Dobbin's book, which only contains 64 out of the 95 discourses. Notes. Elizabeth Carter. The Moral Discourses of Epictetus at the Internet Archive. Thomas Wentworth Higginson. The Works of Epictetus at the Perseus Project. George Long. The Discourses of Epictetus at the Internet Archive. George Long. The Discourses of Epictetus at the Perseus Project. Percy Ewing Matheson. Epictetus. The Discourses and Manual together with fragments of his writings at the Internet Archive. William Abbott Oldfather. Epictetus. The Discourses as reported by Arrian. Volume 1. Volume 2 at the Internet Archive.